Do you want to try to avoid being stuck on the side of the road or in the middle of it?
Yeah.
This is the video for you. These are things that you should make sure you check into before a long road trip.
Yep.
Well, shoot, a road trip.
In general, sure.
What's up, y'all?
What it is.
It's Rae.
And Ty. We love taking road trips.
Yes.
We got plenty more to come.
Do you love taking road trips too? Let us know down in the comment section.
This time, we had to take like a 14-hour commute to go get our new dump trailer. Because look, the project we was working at this time, ain't no hand unloading. Barely wanted to touch it to put it on the trailer.
Stay tuned.
Man. Now make sure everything Gucci before we hit this road.
You definitely want to make sure you don't need an engine oil change.
Matter of fact, you might as well go ahead and just change your oil before even hitting the road. So right now we're doing an oil change. This is what it's looking like under here. So the oil filter go right there. I already drained the oil in that pan back there, so all I gotta do is screw these screws on. Just one screw and then screw the oil filter there. Fill it up with oil and it's gonna be done. If you're gonna take a long trip, you definitely gonna burn a lot of oil going there. Depending on how far you're going. So we was going 7 hours. We drove all the way there, checked the oil, and guess what? It was down low. So boop, top it back off. I actually burned 2 quarts, cause hey, you never know. Got the oil change, got that brown dirty oil right there.
Right, and what about that differential fluid, man?
Yep, so if you got a truck, like we got a big dog, right? We got 2 differentials underneath our truck. Also checking my differential. Definitely want to check that fluid because that allows for like a 4-wheel drive and you got a bunch of gears in there. Right here, this rectangle thing with this circle right here, this is the differential. And guess what? I checked my rear one, I needed a little bit, and my front one, that way was damn near empty. So I just pulled that off to check the fluid in there. Pretty much to check that fluid, all you gotta do is stick your finger in there, about that much, like an inch, and dip it down. If there's no oil on your finger, that means it's low. That little hole right there, just stick your finger in there, like so. No fluid on there. I mean, that bad boy dry. Should have been checked that. Squeeze some oil up in that joint and just make sure you got enough in it. We're using some full synthetic high mileage. Definitely always want to put the best oil in your whip. You want it to last long and run strong.
You can also get some brake cleaner.
Nah, chlorine brake cleaner. I just got this just to clean some oil up. Another thing that we like to do too is like fuel injector cleaner. We like to throw that in the gas tank just to, while we're driving. That stuff, it cleans out the fuel injectors, get the gunk out. Right here we got some fuel injector cleaner. My truck actually pretty much just got rebuilt the engine, so really don't need this, but still gonna put it in there just in case. So I always grab that. It's just preventative maintenance, man. It also helps you save fuel too.
You also want to make sure your U-joints, ball joints, and drive shaft are oiled up or greased up. Yeah, this is different joints that's in the wheels that help everything turn nice and smoothly. I got some grease. So we're gonna grease up some fittings and stuff like that, make sure everything is oiled and lubed before we hit this road. We're gonna check the fittings on this thing here. We're gonna grease that joint up. Make sure everything is nice and greased before we hit this road. We don't need no issues. You don't want nothing dry, cause that's how stuff go bad. Wheel might shake off, pop off. You wanna do it, take it to the shop. Make sure everything that's supposed to be greased, make sure they grease it. They will even sometimes offer like a safety check. Be careful though. We've learned that some of these shops don't do true due diligence.
And it don't matter if they a big name or a small name. The issues what we had on that was like the big shops.
Yes, that been around for 50 years.
Yeah, even dealerships, like Dodge dealerships and stuff like that. You gotta remember, it's regular people working. They miss stuff just like a smaller mechanic. The smaller mechanics, they actually might be able to hit stuff even better. They got a million workers in some of these spots. And they just throwing shit together to move on to the next vehicle.
Remember, they getting paid hourly. They not getting paid with the big company getting paid.
Some of these smaller shops, they getting paid what you pay them.
Right.
So if you paying $300 to pay for your brakes, you literally paying that person $300 versus paying the dealership $800 and they about to give these technicians $50.
You just made me think like, dang, so is it better to go to a smaller shop?
Check the reviews and leave reviews. We still got a couple of reviews to leave for some of the companies. They have reached out and trying to fix their issue.
Yeah, true.
If you spending a bunch of money at these places, make sure you just ask them like, all right, can you go over and show me some of the stuff y'all replace? Because like we said, not all companies do what they said they was gonna do. And another thing that we also had on deck too was coolant. The coolant was full before we left, but I still bring a jug. You just wanna bring that, bring another jug, and just get some water. You don't wanna overheat. I gotta fix the AC too.
So you also wanna check your AC and your heat, because who wants to be uncomfortable throughout the ride, being too hot, too cold?
Charge up the AC. So right here we got some of this AC Pro refrigerant.
You never know if it will be some type of hold up. You could literally be in traffic. I mean, it might even be good to, you know, take a pillow or even a cover just in case. The
issue we ran into, we took our truck to a shop previous before we even took this trip. And we had a bunch of stuff placed on it. We spent like $9,000 to get a bunch of stuff fixed on this truck. When I went to go check the AC, the compressor wasn't working. I think I need a new compressor. These back then hook this shit back up. That's the compressor there. So when they say check to see if that part moving, it's not moving while the truck on. So I had to start investigating more. I'm the type of person I'd rather fix something myself. I know that I did it and I know the right way to do it.
They gonna actually do it with care. You just a customer to them.
Yeah.
They figured it out. We are gonna share that video.
But it's actually nice and cold, man, and I'm happy.
They had to put his thinking cap on. So if 1 equals 1, then 2 equals 2, then if 2 equals...
Then that's the issue. All right, so now that we got the AC good, you wanna make sure you check all your other fluids. All right, what's next, man?
So next up, brake fluid.
The brake fluid you wanna check, mine's is good.
Definitely want that, so you don't end up on one of them runaway truck ramps. It looks scary. I would not want to be in that situation.
If you ain't got no brakes, you go up that joint. As soon as you stop, you gotta shut that bitch in park. Oh. Damn, that is so scary. That's why you want to make sure everything good with your vehicle before you take off. Definitely make sure you got enough brake fluid in that reservoir. Bring some with you. Just bring a whole goddamn quart of brake fluid. You never know. Make sure your brakes ain't squishy. Make sure they're nice and hard. You can get a friend and, you know what I'm saying, he can help you bleed your brakes out, but if you don't know how to do it, just go ahead and take it to a shop. Let them bleed them damn brakes. Make sure there ain't no air in there so you can stop. All I gotta do now is just grease my drive shaft. So check out for little stickers like this where they say, grease front drive shaft, each oil change. We're gonna grease that boy up too, so everything can be nice, moving smooth on down the road. What we did on our truck, we had a back rack. We was taking that long trip, we wanna save gas.
They looking naked out here.
That thing weighed a nice amount of pounds, so I had that taken off. He was able to take that back rack off of me so we could save some gas going down the road. You're gonna be going on a trip where you wanna pick something up, like we wanna pick up a trailer. You wanna definitely make sure that you got the right hitch that you're gonna have hooked up to it. Make sure you got the right safety hookups, wire harnesses and stuff like that, so everything can be smooth on your way back.
Bada boom, bada bing. Got the gooseneck hitch.
And I made sure we had the right hitch set up. We was gonna pick up a gooseneck trailer, so we had to get a gooseneck hitch installed. And then down here, got that BMW bed, baby. And then right here, to unloose that ball, you pull it, move that to the side, and then pull the ball up. And then, bam, pull it back, and then it's spring loaded to lock your right bike. Let's get it. And we're gonna have that hitch down in the description below if you look for one to get installed on your truck. Now we can tote our new trailer and probably our fifth wheel too. Shout out to them again.
It's about to go down. Meanwhile. Oh, look at the baby.
Come on, baby. Hey guys, subscribe and like so we can get to 20 million subscribers. Yay!
You know it don't matter how many subscribers you make.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you get money, baby.
But money don't buy happiness. Money don't mean nothing. Family means something.
It's nice to have money because you got more freedom, more options.
Yeah.
As a bonus, gave little dude Junior some toys here. Bam. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you too.
So definitely give him a call, man. Pretty cool dude.
Next up, make sure you check your transmission fluid. You don't want to end up stuck in any gear.
Crazy because with some of these newer cars, they actually changed the feature where you can't even put the disc stick in and check the transmission fluid. So if you got one of those cars, just take it to a shop or somewhere just so they can check the fluid.
Make sure you have a plan for gas too. That can get pretty costly.
Yeah, we use credit cards everywhere we go.
Yeah, it's a habit we had to develop, but we very, very good at it.
Now, if we gotta use our debit card, I feel like somebody gonna steal it.
I'm fishy. Why you can't take a credit card? Why you need a debit card? You want my checking account number? Oh, you real fishy.
My PIN code.
My routing number? Oh, heck no.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the store 5 miles down the street. We use Speedway because one of our gas cards, which is Menards credit card, they give us perk for using that Speedway. And on top of using that Speedway, if you got a Speedway card, they let you get 5% off the gas too. So that's double the points right there. Our next thing is to get upside, see which one got some cheap gas, bam. Get our cash back from that and use a credit card on top of buying that gas. That's even more cash back.
The Menards is actually a Capital One card. We'll make sure we go ahead and link those below so you can be able to look all into it and see which one can fit you. But we like to use those. And even Discover, they have like promotions sometimes where they give you 5% back, not only on gas, on like stuff from Walmart. So yeah, we'll just leave all those links of different ways you can save, but just use them responsibly. We don't recommend anything that we don't personally use. No, we really trying to let y'all know this helps us.
Right.
Maybe it can help you too. We also love the fact that we're not compromising our debit cards.
Hi guys.
Next up, power steering fluid.
You want to check your power steering fluid, and my power steering is actually low.
So you can water with it.
If you turn it and your car doing, that means you need some power steering fluid. Down here at the bottom, you see that there's a minimum and a maximum line, and bam, mine's right there, a little below the minimum. And now guess what? The company that actually replaced the power steering hose, one of them, because they were super rusty. And as you can see, they ain't even top my fluid all the way back off. It's just like super hard turn. You gotta use 2 hands. Get you some power steering fluid. If the fluid don't work, it's probably your pump. So get that stuff taken care of because you want to turn. You want to be able to whip that joint. You ain't got time to be muscling that boy to get over in another lane. That's dangerous as hell. You can get out of the way of them, you know what I'm saying? You might whip.
You might be like, I'm gonna make sure I drive safe. It might be somebody else you need to get away from.
Defensive drive. You gotta drive for other people, man. Definitely make sure you got some good windshield wipers and some good fluid in there, fluid topped off. You wanna make sure your seat clear down the road. You don't wanna have to keep pulling over, wiping off your windshield, or turning on your wipers that you can't see. If you're on a road trip, you're gonna be hitting a lot of bugs, and you never know, you might run into some rain too. A good fluid to use is the Rain X. It'll pretty much put like an oil on your window. So sometimes you might not even need to use your windshield wipers. As soon as the water hit it, it's just gonna fall right down. It's gonna like bead up.
You also wanna make sure your tires are good. You wanna make sure the wear isn't bad, that the PSI is good, and that the treads are still some good too.
There's certain shops that actually do that for free, like free tire checks. Make sure your tires is balanced because you don't want your steering wheel wobbly while you're driving down the road.
Also, make sure you check your lights, blinkers, and bulbs.
People gotta know when you're switching over.
Yeah.
You never know, somebody can be hitting the gas when you think you about to get over, bang, cause an accident.
In places like AutoZone, sometimes if the person is feeling nice, they might even help you switch the bulb out. Also, make sure you have a plan for how you're gonna pay tolls. I know some people use fast pay. We just like to take change that we can stacked up over time and some loose dollars. Don't play around with getting them little tickets. When you come to a stop, make sure you get your ticket. Even if it's the machine's fault that it didn't give you a ticket, once you get to that next teller, they're gonna be like, okay, let me get your ticket so I can see what you owe. If you be like, oh, the machine wasn't working back there, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, $100.
It's gonna be something stupid like that, but you're gonna have to spend like $20 when it's probably only $5 or something like that.
Something I learned is there's even some states that will mail you your payment due, which is kind of crazy.
In certain states.
And the issue is, if you're gonna be gone for a long time, by the time you get back home, guess what? It might be past due. And then of course they got some late fees attached to it. Can I just give a shout out to my baby? Because he really be looking out. He looks out for us. That's my baby.
My gonna be streaming. Yeah.
Yes, it be like little stuff that people do, and it's like you don't think about it, but I think it's good to always think about the little stuff and make sure you appreciate the ones that do them. Look at those. Stay right there. If you are about your family and business like us, you might as well go ahead and join the community, okay? And go to artlife.com. That's ARTT life.com. Get you a shirt. Might as well rock it proudly. This is actually a discussion starter too. You about your family and business? Oh, wow. Love that. What's your business? Like they said, this is an asset.
Let somebody know about your business. They're like, dang, I've been needing that. What's your number? What's your contact info?
I'm telling you, it says a lot.
And it grab attention. People always look like, I like that.
This is literally a lifestyle. But all right, y'all. Peace to the Middle East. You know what's going on.
Yeah. Go click that link in our bio.
So, all big little roach friends.
Man, Roach, she had little rat friends in that room. Probably like 10 of her little cousins we had to kill in that joint.
Stay tuned.
Man,